So remember when I said I would release a video the day afterwards? I lied. So like I said, I've been a bit behind on videos, but you're gonna have to deal with it. I'll catch up eventually. But one of the big announcements last week was the announcement of the 24th James Bond title, which is going to be Spectre, or Spectre, or Spectre. I mean, whatever. It's another ambiguous title like Skyfall. Or is it? Most of the die-hard James Bond fans, and to those of you who, you know, maybe casual viewers, Spectre is one of the classic Bond villain organizations that was introduced back in 1962 with the original Dr. No, and has been playing a part in most of the James Bond films over the years as one of the primary antagonists of James Bond and MI6. But then it kind of lost traction in the 90s and was replaced by Quantum in Casino Royale and Quantum of Solace. But since Quantum was taken out in one movie, I guess they figured, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Let's go back to Spectre. And now we have our super criminal organization for the next James Bond film. For those of you who don't know, Spectre stands for... I honestly forgot, so I'm just going to read it. Spectre stands for Special Executive for Counterintelligence, Terrorism, Revenge, and Extortion. And I'm sorry, but that name just screams, we're evil! We hate the environment! We also want to hack everything! Oh, we're so evil! They may as well be run by the Joker and Loki at this point. But Spectre has had a large standing presence in about 6 of the James Bond films, and is the main adversary of MI6, like it's the counter-intelligence force. MI6 wants intelligence, Spectre is like, hey, to hell with that. But this is also a really interesting take on what they're going to do, because it's appealing to this nostalgia aspect like Skyfall was doing, but also it's giving them a chance to do something new. Like director Sam Mendes is going to be able to introduce Spectre into the 21st century, kind of like Quantum was supposed to do, but Quantum wasn't really that impressive. But in addition to the title and a nice little teaser logo that looks like a bullet with a few scrapes on the glass, but it's supposed to be an octopus, but no one told you that. But we got announcements of the cast, which, you know, we have the returning cast: Daniel Craig, Ralph Fiennes, Naomi Harris, Ben Whishaw, and apparently we're also getting Jesper Christensen. For those of you who don't know, Christensen was present in Casino Royale and Quantum of Solace as Mr. White. He was the guy pulling the strings a little bit, but then he kind of just fell off the grid. But he was alive by the end of Quantum of Solace, so I guess he's back. With the addition of Christensen, it makes me wonder if they're going to be revisiting the Vesper story arc, which I kind of felt that they completed at the end of Quantum of Solace when he left the necklace in the snow, like he was over her. But if they're bringing Christensen back as Mr. White, I feel that there's going to be some unresolved issues with Bond's whole story arc with Vesper, so I guess I'm okay with it. I thought we were over that, but I guess we're not. However, the newbies include, and I'm going to need to read it off again because I may end up butchering some of these names, Christoph Waltz, Léa Seydoux, I'm horrible at pronouncing French names. I have an easier to pronounce name. Monica Bellucci and Dave Bautista. And let me reiterate, Dave Bautista in a James Bond film. This is so awesome because Dave Bautista definitely proved himself to be a capable but awkward and adorable actor in Guardians of the Galaxy, so maybe this will be his take on a more serious and dark and gritty role. Like, he can actually be like himself and kick ass. And this is also a great opportunity for him to be like, hey, I'm Drax the Destroyer, but now I'm also a James Bond villain, so take me seriously now. But also, I love the way that this is casting, because it seems like we're getting multiple James Bond villains. Because my problem with the last couple films is we've had just one solitary villain and maybe a couple henchmen. Bond needs to have like the physical adversary to triumph over and the intellectual enemy to triumph over, like he did in the classic films. Like there was always some big muscle-bound henchman that was present throughout the entire film that Bond had to end up physically beating by the end of the film, but then there was someone pulling the strings in the background. Dave Bautista's the muscle, Christoph Waltz is going to be the brains, because Christoph Waltz presents the best charisma and fun nature and mannerisms in Hollywood today, that he can play a very sinister and calculating but a very fun villain. Apparently Monica Bellucci and Lea Seydoux are Bond girls, and I'm okay with that. The best casting for this was hearing that Christoph Waltz was going to be it. Like, some people were rumoring that Benedict Cumberbatch was going to be the next Bond villain, and I said to myself, he doesn't present as much charisma as Christoph Waltz does. Sure, Benedict has that ominous presence and the physicality that could be a James Bond villain, but we're getting the classic mastermind villain with Christoph Waltz. Because, let's be honest, he plays just such great characters. Even in, I guess, like, really bad movies like Horrible Bosses 2, he still brings his A game. But it's also going to be really interesting to see how they up Javier Bardem's performance in the last film, because he was a fantastic villain, but I think that they can do better. They can make him less like funny. Like, I honestly found Silva's character to be hilarious. Like, he was a fantastic villain, but just whenever I saw him on screen, I would just be like, it is Silva. He's a funny guy. James Bond Spectre is looking to be very promising at this point. They've just started filming. We've got a little brief plot synopsis that is, you know, James Bond's going to be taking on this evil corporation while M eludes political maneuverings or something like that. It's basically the same stuff as last time. But it'll be interesting to see how the recent months play out with filming and with maybe more announcements and trailer announcements. So I guess we will stay tuned to see when 007 will strike again. Hey Internet, thanks for watching, and don't forget to click that subscribe button. Also, did you check out these videos? Or these videos? Some of these videos are fun, some of them are even more fun, so be sure to check them out.